You hear me?
Yes.
You hear me? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. By the way, I didn't choose the video at the beginning, so we had a couple of technical difficulties. Sorry if you couldn't watch it. So yes, today I'm going to talk about consciousness. Consciousness, awareness, self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Well, you see, the brain is the main processor of your body. It does everything. It even does the things you don't. An example to that might be breathing or blinking. You don't blink consciously, your brain does it for you. So that actions are automated. It falls under your subconscious side. And then there are the things you do with your brain and that you're aware of. For example, remembering who you are, knowing where you are, remembering your teachers, friends, etc. These are the things you can do because your brain is self-aware. So almost certainly, humans are self-aware, right? Yes. But who else is self-aware, you might ask? Well, that's a great question, and I have an answer for you. There's an experiment, test sort of thing, implemented by scientists called the mirror test. What they did was they simply gathered a bunch of animals and they put a mirror in front of each of them to see which can recognize themselves and which cannot. They started experimenting in 1970, and as of 2015, a very few species had actually passed the test. And of course, they are elephants, orcas, bottlenose dolphins, some of the great apes, and magpies for some reason. And of course us humans. But we do not only recognize ourselves in the mirror, we can also create illusions with them, taking a step further than the animals. Animals. How many animals are there in the world? Well, about 8.7 billion individually distinct animal species live on Earth right now. And only like 6 or 7 of them are self-aware and clever. So all these 6 animal species I just counted are special amongst the others. Well, let's keep comparing ourselves to the animals, right? Animals and we can paint. We can create pieces of art just by using our imagination. But I want to talk about individuals today. And only some individual animal species can actually paint something. You see an elephant right there drawing a branch, tree, something like that, I don't know. Yeah, you can say that he's pretty good at drawing, but every one of us humans can at least draw a stick figure, right? Right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that we are all better than this elephant right there at painting or drawing. So, yeah, what about music? We are better at art than animals, but what about music? Well, if you look at it, music is just an imitation of all the already existing sounds in the nature. So, yeah, animals do create better music than us, don't they? Well, no, because I've talked about individuals, and I'm going to talk about them again. You may have already heard the sound of whales singing, the humpback whales. It's beautiful beyond any doubt, but it's really nothing, I mean nothing, compared to a symphony written by Ludwig van Beethoven or a nocturne composed by Friedrich Chopin. Our experience with music is clearly better than any animal species, even though they have been living on this earth longer than us. Why am I making these comparisons? Do I hate animals? No, I don't. In fact, I love some animals most people don't care about, like dinosaurs and stuff. What I'm trying to imply is it's obvious that we are smarter and better than animals at everything. And if we are really the smartest of this world, out of 8.7 billion animal species, we should be a wise leader of the world, right? Since we are the smartest. we are self-aware? Well, most people don't get it that way. You see, animal abuse has been quite a deal amongst this country and the whole world as well. Some disgusting people torture animals, they poison them, cut their tails, bash their heads in, yada yada, and treat them like foul creatures, as if they were savage animals. Of course, I'm not supporting animal abuse or anything. What I'm trying to say is, we are the best, we are superior. We are the leaders of this world. And we are self-aware. So we shouldn't use our self-awareness for the bad. We should use it for the sake of the animals or the sake of the environment. We can do this because we are special. We are the last human species left. We are gifted with self-awareness, and we are the smartest out of 8.7 billion animal species. Think about the chances. Is it all a coincidence? I think not. We can change the world. We have a chance to change the world because we are special. So yeah, that was my message. Now we're on to part 2. You are special. You, yes, you. I'm talking to you. Each and every one of you. You are special. Don't believe me? Well, here's the proof. I love the forward section of 2001: Space Odyssey, written by Arthur C. Clarke to Stanley Kubrick. It reads, "Behind every man now alive stand 30 ghosts, for that is the ratio by which the dead outnumber the living. Since the dawn of time, roughly 100 billion human beings have walked the planet Earth. Now this is an interesting number, for by a curious coincidence, there are approximately 100 billion stars in our local galaxy, the Milky Way. So for every man who has ever lived in this galaxy, there shines a star. But every one of those stars is a sun, often far more brilliant and glorious than the small nearby star we call the sun. And many, perhaps most of those alien suns, have planets circling them. So almost certainly there is enough land in the sky to give every member of the human species, back to the first ape man, his own private, world-sized heaven or hell." It's almost like a metaphor, all these stars and suns. If we correlate the sun with people, it makes sense, because the suns have individually distinct planets orbiting them, and so do the people with their thoughts and feelings. Feelings are special to those who are able to feel them, just like the planets to the stars. But don't think of it as you're just a lonely star in the vastness of the universe. Look at it from the philosophical side. You are here now, right? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, not surprised, I suppose. But think about the chances again. Were you likely to be here, your position, your statement, where you are right now? You are 1 in a trillion. You were gifted with self-awareness. Again, it's a gift that nature rarely gives. You're the smartest out of 8.7 billion animal species. You are special. You are special because you are the first sperm to have fertilized the egg. You are the one to be born without any lethal casualties. You are the one who passed this difficult exam and got to this school. And about 1% of all the humans who have ever lived in this planet is alive today. And as Mr. Clarke said, 100 billion individual human beings have walked this earth. And you're in that tiny, itty-bitty 1%. You're alive now. Being alive is the best thing in the whole world. We really, really need to celebrate this, even for a short period of time, every day, that we are special, we are self-aware, and we are alive. And of course, things always don't go to your way. There may be some days when you feel lonely, down, and like nobody in the whole world understands you, but that's okay. Because that is the thing about being special. And please, never, ever, ever, ever think like you'll be forgotten once you're dead. Never start thinking like you don't have any impact on people, because you do. And I'd like to remind you, even when the stars die, they leave behind the supernova. Thank you.